The Green Bay Packers at this point, this is reaching levels of when you were playing, especially with Julius Peppers. I mean, quarterbacks have to fear going into these games with the guys that they have, being able to get after the passer, the trade for Micah Parsons, already having Rashawn Gary. How amazing is it for a guy like you to have a guy on the other side to rush the passer, draw some attention away from you maybe, and how scary is this front right now for the Packers?
To answer your first question, as far as having another piece, another pass rushing piece, I look at my time in 2019 when I played with Whit and I was on the LA Rams. It was the first time since 2009 playoffs, we played the Arizona Cardinals. That was the first time I got double teamed. It was week 17, week 18, the wild card weekend. And then I saw double teams throughout my career until 2019. It was Aaron Donald and nobody gave a darn about me. And it was awesome. It was awesome. I won my one-on-ones. I got my sacks. I was like, hey, this is great. I'm going to be here for a while. The Rams had other plans, but nevertheless, it was amazing. So I think what you're seeing here and what you saw yesterday was a Packers defense that got not only a playmaker, but somebody that offenses truly have to account for. And you saw, they talked about this cheetah package where they have Rashawn Gary, big effort guy, Lucas Van Ness, who has maybe not lived up to the expectations of a first round pick, but they move him inside to that 3 and 5 technique and allow him to rush. He has a heck of a game. DBs, linebackers playing fast. They look good yesterday. So I'm going to, obviously, I picked the Packers to win the North. I think what's better, I don't think Micah wins them the Super Bowl, not just one guy, but what I think it shows is an all-in mentality and an all-in approach that we are so close to getting over the hump and to doing this, that there's a belief in the locker room. And I think you saw that with how they came out. They started fast, had a 17-3 lead at halftime. They never let it go. They just played so fast with so much energy, and I hope that continues throughout the season.
When you look at this group, Clay, I think one of the things that's always interesting to me, too, is when you pair these people up, it's like how they fit. I love, like, when I look at it and kind of knowing Micah and Rashawn having played against him, like the power and really effort that Rashawn Gary plays with matches so well with the game that Micah plays on the other side. So it's like you almost have one guy who's going to compress the pocket all the time with how they play their style. I almost think of like Brandon Graham in that sense of just how the tackle's going backwards, he's going close to the quarterback. And then Micah, who is just such a guy who has everything in his arsenal, that I feel like that is going to be a really uncomfortable world. But to you, what really is it about Micah when you watch him play that you go, these are the things to me that really separate him as a rusher?
I truly believe, obviously he's athletic. He's got the measurables. He can run fast, but man, you saw that sack. And the thing that stood out to me was just the effort and hustle. I'm not very active on social media, but I posted something like 3 years ago, and I hardly ever post. It was on Micah Parsons. They gave up like a 20-yard run. This guy ran down somebody. He popped the ball out the 1-yard line, and I'm at home like, this is I'm telling my wife, like, you live to play another down. And what happens on the very next play? That team fumbles the ball. The Cowboys get it back. I'm like, man, you just don't see that very much anymore. That effort, that kind of, and I thought that one play, even though it was a fourth quarter kind of garbage time sack, I think that's what you see is just that effort and that relentlessness that he has, that he's just going to create problems. And if he doesn't maximize on it, you see both Lucas Van Ness and Rashawn Gary, who had a sack and a half yesterday, 8 tackles, I'm sure some TFLs in there. They're going to be the beneficiaries of it. DBs as well, linebackers. So I think he just takes that defense, which is already a top 10 defense, to the next level.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a garbage sack. You know that. They all count the same.
Oh, Clay knows. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, they all count. Later in my career, I would get someone down and I'd immediately look to the sticks over there, and I was like, yeah, baby.
Yeah. Hey, Fitz, this is great. So coaching my youth football team, I actually share a Clay little nugget of wisdom that he talked to me about one day in the trainer room in LA. And we were discussing, he got an offsides call in the Cleveland game in Cleveland. And we're talking about it. And he goes, hey, Whit, listen, here's my philosophy, man. The coaches are going to scream at me once a game. I'm jumping off. Like I'm just, hey, one time a game, I am guessing the count and I'm going, because that is the difference in that one moment where you beat it and you get there and you win clean. And I got to do it. Like, I got to tell you, at one point in the game, I got to let it go. So I tell my kids that every week. I'm like, find your moment, and I'm okay with it, guys. One time you feel you got it, jump the count and go get that quarterback.
That's it. And you know who told me that was the late, great Kevin Green. Third all-time in sacks, 160 sacks.
Legend.
He told me as a young player, he brought me over and said, I don't care if you get one offside again. So already I'm crowding the ball, I'm cheating, I'm taking my shots, I'm getting that bounce in my stance, and you just play so much more free when you don't feel like a coach is breathing down your neck, going to yell at you just for a simple 5-yard penalty.
Whit, I was thinking about you yesterday. Speaking of garbage sacks, Kyler Murray ran out of bounds.
Oh God! Don't get me.
He ran
bad.
out of bounds. Went from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 11. Just thinking about how frustrated and upset you guys get over little ones like that. Throw the ball away.
Oh, you get in the meeting room. The O-line coach starts telling you, "Well, guys, we gave up a couple sacks." Like, no, we didn't. The quarterback ran out of bounds. Like that's not a sack. Damn it.
So athletic quarterbacks like that. This week our game is going to be at Green Bay, and it's the Commanders. So Jaden Daniels, Clay, how do you have to change your rush patterns, or how do you have to think about it differently when you play a guy that athletic at the quarterback position?
Yeah, I mean, without getting too much into the philosophy of how they're going to approach this game, do you have somebody who spies? Do you kind of keep them in the pocket? I always hated that as a pass rusher because I just wanted to be turned loose, hair on fire, We did do that in the Super Bowl when Ben Roethlisberger was still mobile. I was sitting there playing patty cake with everybody, just to keep Roethlisberger in the pocket. It worked.
Didn't y'all do that with Kaepernick some too?
We did not do that in the playoffs. Okay. That's when he ran for like 200 yards. So you know what we did? We opened up I don't know if it was Candlestick Park, wherever it was. We opened up the next year and we said, all right, he's not going to beat us with his arm. So what does he do? He goes out and throws for 300, but we shut down Frank Gore and he runs for 30 yards. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. But Fitz, to get back to your question, I think, as Whit alluded to, I think you got to let Micah create havoc in there. You saw he did that with Sewell just darting inside every time, and that got Jared a little uncomfortable. He threw that one interception, debatable if that was, if that caused it or not, but get him uncomfortable, get somebody in his face, get him on the outside, because any quarterback, when they're outside of the pocket, they're not going to be as efficient or as accurate. They're still brilliant these days, but I think it's kind of like playing Lamar last night. You saw with the Bills, they're going to make their plays. You just got to limit their big playmaking ability, and that's trying to keep him contained as best you can.